Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I've already said happy new year, but let's say it one more time. It doesn't hurt. Happy new year everybody. Thanks for subscribing. If you're new here, please stay subscribed, hit the notification button and watch more videos, okay? As you already know, the goal this year is to get 1,000 subscribers, 1k subscribers. We are already like 590. By the time you're watching this video, it will be more than that. And I hope you like the review I did about the channel, and I plead with you to give us any topics you want us to talk about, and if it's within my power, I'll do more research and we'll discuss them all as I can. As you can remember, you can reach me on Facebook, Priscilla Kumah. On Instagram, I've changed it now to Priscilla Kumah. I'm on Snapchat and I'm on TikTok, so yeah, reach out to me, let's chit chat. It's high time I get to chat with my subscribers. And before I forget, let me show you my view. It's very cold. It's negative 20 Celsius, or which is equal to negative 4 Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm indoors. That's how come I can even open up my chest a little bit. So let me show you my view right now. How do we switch this? That's my view right there. A guest pulling up into the driveway. There's so much ice and snow out there. The window has nets, so you can't really see well, but that's my view. So many have asked me about distance relationship because of the prior video I made for you guys. It had a very good view, almost I think 900 plus views about distance relationship. I did it for 8 years, close to 8 years, and it was not easy. So people do inbox me about it and how it was and if it's something they should pursue and all. First of all, I want to say that I'm not a marriage counselor. I send out this disclaimer every time I do my videos. I'm just sharing my opinion, my personal opinion based on my experiences on this channel. Anything I tell you is all about what I've experienced. And if I don't have the expertise, I do invite somebody over in that field to talk to you. That's the whole sit we do and interview people. So yes, and distance relationship, first of all, I'll let you know that it is very hard. It's a lot of hard work. If you have the option to escape it, please escape it. It's really hard because, as I said before, you have to work the extra mile, like you do double or triple what somebody living in the same space is doing. You have to work the extra mile. You have to put in the work. You have to do 2 or 3 times that to make it survive. And it has to be both ways, coming from both partners. I gave an example before about how if you have to explain something to that person about a road that takes you to work, even though the road is bad, but it takes you there faster, the person will just be suggesting to you on the phone, why don't you do it this way? But they are not in that situation, so they don't really get it. But you are living it. It's your reality, so you know how it's working in your favor. So you have to explain how it works, and the person might not even end up getting it. So let's take it from the top. The finances, the financial part of the relationship. It's very expensive to be in a distance relationship because it costs money to be able to contact your partner. You need to have data, you need to have internet, you need to have Wi-Fi, you need to have a phone, a working phone. You have a charger, you need to have electricity to put all together to be able to call or text the person. And it's something you do daily, multiple times in a day. Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, I've just arrived. I've dropped the kids off at school. I'm going to a wedding. I'm going to class. I just got home. I'm eating. What are you doing? You have to be testing back and forth. So if your partner is not the one who does it, who likes to test, people call themselves, I'm not that testing person, I'm not that online person, then distance relationship is not for you. It's just a fact. If you do not like to test, because that is kind of easier and cheaper. So if you're a phone call person, sometimes you call and the network might not even permit the person to talk to you. So test is always easier, or shooting an email to the person is always easier. So you should have the patience to be able to test, retest, reply back, and communicate clearly. What you're typing should be simple and clear so that the person can picture it. It shouldn't be too technical. If you're an engineer or a construction person and your partner is not, and you're trying to tell them, we are this side doing this, you don't want to use jargons, technical construction engineering jargons. You want to use simple terms. You are putting cement and water together to do this here. So when I'm done, I'll call you. then the person will have an idea what you're talking about, you know. But if you're using jargons, you're not communicating in simple terms for the person to understand, then you're gonna have problems. So financially, you need money to be able to communicate. The second point I already elaborated, that is the communication skills you need. You need to test clearly. You need to say things in simple terms for your partner to understand, because we read meaning into text differently. You can send the same text, "I am coming," to somebody, and the person will read it differently. Another person will read it differently, because we receive message differently and we translate it differently based on how our brain processes it, you know. So sometimes you might read something, it's not offensive, but because of the tone you assumed the person was typing in, you read it and take offense, but that was not what the person was trying to say. So that brings me to the fighting aspect of it. You're always arguing, you always fighting because the communication is not going well, and that is what it leads to. It leads to fights. Why did you say this to me? How dare you say this to me? What did you mean? Why did you put a comma here? Why did you put a full stop here? Why did you add 3 exclamation signs? That means what? You're stressing on it. You're insulting me. You're this. Then you're beginning to fight because of miscommunication. So you need the means of communication. You need money to communicate. And you need to communicate to make sense to the other person. Because, mind you, they are not seeing you. They are only reading the message you typed. That the message can even be from somebody holding your phone, typing it on your behalf. So you need to be very careful the things you say, because it's virtual. The person that is not reading your emotions, not reading your mood, to be able to tell, oh, he was angry. He wasn't angry before he typed this to me, you know? Yes. Then the society we live in discourage a lot of people when it comes to distance relationship. They begin to plant seeds of doubt in the person's head. Do you know what your partner is doing over there? Distance relationships don't work. My friend did, it didn't work. My cousin did, it didn't work. It's too much work. Are you hopeful? Is this thing gonna end well and all? So if your partner is not a solid person, not a grounded person, those little comments from society would get into their mind and they will call it quit. It was so hard on me that at a point I had to break up. I told my partner that this is too much. I can't do this anymore. It's taking longer because as I said, I did it for 8 years. So it's taking too long, and I don't know how long I can hold on to this. This is draining me. I remember that song, I used to play it a lot. This long distance is killing me. Yeah, I can't remember Jordan Spark or who. I can't remember who sang it, but that song was always on my playlist because the long distance was killing me. I was like, I'm sick of this. I just want to forget, focus, look around, find somebody around me, have what my friends or my colleagues have, where they go and see their boyfriends. I never had that experience. I'm going to my boyfriend's house. I never used that phrase before because there was no boyfriend, there was no house to go to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they were all settling down, and I was like, this is too much. I don't know how long I can hold on to this. So with time, you might get to your partner and they would end the relationship. So when you're in a distance relationship, you have an open mind because it can end without you seeing it coming. So you have to psych yourself and prepare for the worst. It works out. It's beautiful when you haven't seen each other for so long because of distance, and they finally meet, and it's nice. You have a lot to talk about. It's very nice. It's interesting. It's fun. And sometimes the distance makes you guys stronger. They say distance makes the heart grow fonder, you know. So it's nice and all, but as soon as the person goes again, you're back to your normal life. It's back to its normal life, and it's really stressful. And it takes a lot of commitment. You need to be a patient person. You need to be very committed to stay focused and not get distracted. It is very hard. It is something I wouldn't do again if I had to. It's very, very hard. It's very draining emotionally, very stressful, very expensive. I remember I used to go to an internet cafe back in Ghana at night, midnight, to be able to access the internet and check my emails and send messages and do Skype. We used to use Skype, Viber, those ones. Yeah, people have moved away now and using FaceTime and WhatsApp and all this Messenger and all that. We used to use Skype and Viber, and the network was terrible. And you pay for the hours you spend in the cafe. So you go in, they give you a code, and you pay for 2 hours or something. So as soon as the 2 hours is out, they log you off the computer, so you have to renew it. So if you're not done communicating, it's gonna take a while to finally log in to get the person, and the network is dropping and all. Then when the conversation is getting nicer, then your time runs out. So if you don't have extra money to renew for another 1 hour or 30 minutes, then the conversation is left hanging. Then there's fights. Your partner did not know why you left. Did you go to do something else and ignore them and left them hanging? You know, it's very draining, very, very, very draining, very expensive. So fast forward, now I'm married to the same partner. We live in the same house and everything. The effects of distance relationship on my marriage. I would say that distance relationship doesn't prepare you much for living together with your partner, because it's just the person comes 1 week, 2 weeks, you hang out, you go your separate ways. They come 3 days, 4 days, you hang out, you go your separate ways. It doesn't prepare you, because you don't do sleepovers, you don't go to your boyfriend's or girlfriend's house, nothing like that. It's all on the phone. I'm sure most of you met online. There are so many online dating apps now. You go and log in and meet somebody online. You never really shared anything in common. It's very hard. So when you finally move in together to live with the person, it's very hard. My first year of marriage was very tough for me. It was very, very tough. This is somebody I've known for so many years, a great guy and everything. But there are certain things that you end up discovering as you enter the marriage. The same for your partner, so they end up discovering that about you. So if those things are so serious, then a person cannot live with it. That's when the marriages begin to fail or break down, you know. Yes. But if I had lived with a person before, dating, maybe living together or visiting him or something, number one, I am a very good fan of cohabitation. We grew up in that environment where you cannot go and sleep over in your boyfriend's house. You need to stay in your parents' house until you get married and move into a complete stranger's house you know nothing about, because you sneak whilst dating back in Ghana. You even sneak to go to see your boyfriend or girlfriend. You can't just tell your parents, I'm going to my boyfriend's house, I'll see you next week. Nope. You only sneak and hang out and see him in the mall for like 1 hour and you run back home, you know. If you're watching, you can relate, you know. You can't come and tell your parents, I have a boyfriend and this, and they'll just want you to go to school, study, get a job and marry in that order. So you can't be doing both at the same time. You cannot be in school, let's say high school or college, and say, this is my boyfriend. They just tell you, you're so young, why are you following a man around? Why are you following a woman around? Focus on your school, study, study, study. Yes. So by the time you finish all that, our educational system in Ghana was so long. By the time you finish all that, you're trying to settle down and find a job. You end up marrying late in the first place, you know. So I like cohabitation. If I had the chance, that is one thing I would go back and do. Live with somebody for a year and see whether this is meant for you. I saw a post on Facebook. They were like, what did you wish you knew before marriage? Or what will you tell somebody dating now? Or something of that sort. And I commented that live with a person for a year at least, minimum of 1 year. Live together and see if you can really live with this person. Because some people, trust me, I don't want to use certain words here, but they are just unlivable. You can't live with them. They will drive you nuts. So try it, test it out first, and if it's not working, you pack and go. But imagine you're married to this person. You go in and you live with them and realize, I can't live with this person. And society is the same one telling you to stay married. Sit over there. So you're going to get stuck, you know. Then you're stuck. You have nowhere to go because society says stay married. But you are in the shoe, you know, where it pinches most. And you're doing everything to make it work and it's not working. Yeah. So the very first year of my marriage was very hard for me. Been married for over 5 years now. The very first year of marriage was very hard for me when I finally moved into the marriage with my husband. As you already know, I was even married and still had to do distance marriage for close to 2 years or something before I finally moved in with him too. So it was hard. We've been known each other for so many years. I've known him for 12 years counting, and There are certain things that you don't really see until you live with a person in the same space, and until real life situations face you, until reality sinks in, until you have to sit down and discuss real life situations about your life, about your partner's life, about kids, about finances, about both families, extended families, their influence, about education, about your career, about his career, about relocating, if you want to change houses, if you want to buy a car, everything. Now you have to be thinking about the other person before you do certain things. You can't just get up and take off. You have to consider your partner, consider the kids, consider whether it's going to work for the family, things like that. Then reality comes in. You are faced with reality and you have to choose wisely or carefully so that not to hurt your partner or not to destroy the family finances. You can't just take the family finances and just take off and start touring the world or something like that. You know what I mean? Yes. And there are certain things you find out. For me, for instance, I love dark rooms. I don't like lights for anything. If I even have my own way at work, I would use I'll be in a dark office with no lights on. I do that sometimes. People are Priscilla, turn the light on, then they come and turn it on. So things like that. So I like dark rooms. I like quiet rooms. My partner loves TV on. He likes lights, bright lights. And I don't like bright lights at all. I like to be dark. I close all my blinds. I off every light. The only light I can have is my phone light when I'm scrolling through online or something. So how do you manage such an issue, you know? How do you balance such a situation whereby one likes light on, TV on at night, and you don't? If I have lights on, I wake up with headache and red eyes. So my health is affected. How do you think we solved it? Certain things you can compromise, but I can't compromise my health by having bright lights on till morning. Such an instance, I'm giving you the chance to think how we solved it. I'm not gonna say anything. I think by now you'd have figured it out, and you write it down in the comment section. So certain things you find out, oh my, then can I? So if it's a big issue, then you can't cope with it. That's how people begin to walk out. You get in somebody's house and realize you don't know anything about them. Meanwhile, you've been dating for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, but because you never really lived in one space to see whether you can do it or not. I have a friend at work who lived with a boyfriend they were dating for like 3 years, and they moved in together. It was all sweet, nice, and they moved in together for 3 months. Unfortunately for them, they had to relocate to a different state. They went to San Diego. So whilst in San Diego, California, then 3 months, she realized this is not working. And he also realized this was not working, but he didn't say anything. He just woke up one day and called it quits and packed and left. And she's in a foreign state. She doesn't know anybody. She went in because her boyfriend got a job there, and she's a nurse, so she can work anywhere. So she also moved in there. So she had to pack and come back here and find a place and re-rent, because she gave her place out and moved out and everything. So she had to come back, and we were all surprised, like, why are you back? The person couldn't survive. She couldn't work. She couldn't do it. So she just had to come back. So those are some of the things that, my boyfriend, we've been dating for 5 years, we're ready to marry. You don't know that girl, you don't know that boy. Have a chance to live together for a little bit. If we could all live together for a minimum of 1 year, just minimum of 1 year, if you're able to do living together in one space, minimum of 1 year, at least you have a little idea about the person's sleep pattern, eating pattern, communication pattern, cleanliness. Some partners are just so dirty you can't even deal with them. Then you want to see if is this what you want to sign up for, rather than making it legal, putting a stamp on it, putting a ring on it. You go in and the person is too dirty that you can't even stand it. You've cleaned it for a while, and you just like, no, this is not for me. You can't change the person at this point. You can only clean after their mess. So for how long will you be cleaning after their mess? That is when people pack up and go. So one thing I wish I did, or I had a chance to do, was go back and live with my partner for 1 year and see if this is what I really want to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is one big disadvantage of distance relationship. It doesn't give you a chance or a feel of how your partner is until you move in and realize, oh, this is not for me at all. Yes. But apart from that, everything else has been great. Distance, it's fun. You have the space, you have the liberty to move around, liberty to do anything, focus on your career, focus on anything you want to do, because you don't have a partner with you at that moment. So that's the time for you to be gathering on the certificates you want to gather, all the investments you want to do, projects you want to do, places you want to travel to, because you're like dating or married but single, literally, because the person is somewhere and you are also somewhere. So this is the time you are free. You can get up and go anywhere, and just tell your partner, I'm going for a wedding, I'm going for a funeral, I'm going for this trip, I'm going here, and you're free. But when you're living together, it's hard. So this relationship has its perks, it has its up and downs. I don't regret doing it. It worked out for me. I loved it. It was very hard, but I'm a very strong-headed, determined person. So, but it's not meant for anybody. If you are a lovey-dovey, touchy type, you want somebody to be around you, holding you, cuddling, pampering you, spreading you, taking you out, taking you on dates every evening and all that, distance relationship is not for you. Because when the dates invitations come for programs and things, you would have to go alone. You have to go as a married woman but alone, because your partner is not there. You would have to go as a married man because your wife is in a different area or different country. Even within the same country, we are in different states or different cities or different towns. You will still be married, but because of job and how our society has turned out, career, we are not privileged to be with our partners to get always. He has a good paying job in a different state or city, and you also have a very good paying job in a different area. So you have to live separately even though you're in the same country. Then you dedicate certain weekends, or maybe once a month, this person will visit, the next month will take turns, the other partner will visit. Then you do all that. This weekend the kids will go to their father, next 2 weekends the kids will come to me, that kind of thing. You all have to figure out the uniqueness in your relationship and the things you need to make it work. Every home is different, every situation is different, but you know yourself, you know your partner, so you have to figure out what works out best for you. If you want to see what someone is doing, you want to copy what somebody is doing, trust me, it's not going to work out for you at all. It's going to fall apart. Things will fall apart, literally, because someone's situation is unique to yours. There can never be two perfect situations. If we are twin sisters who marry twin brothers who live in same house or same neighborhood, there's something different definitely about your union or your relationship. So you have to figure out what it is and what works for you. Then you apply that to your situation. Yes. So if you're in a distant relationship, the features are good, the partner is, everything seems great, you've checked all the boxes, there's no perfect situation, but the red flags are all checked out or crossed out, hold on tight to it. It will pay off. You're almost there. Don't give up. Keep going, you're almost there, and hopefully you get to find yourselves in the same place or the same situation, and your distance journey will be over like how mine was. And it's been great. It's been great. If I'll do distant relationship again, no. If I get a chance to cohabitate, yes. Because you learn a lot about the person. Just like living with your siblings in the same house. You know, you learn a lot about somebody. Your siblings are great friends to other people, but they cannot live in the same situation with those people. They are very good friends outside, but as soon as they live together, chaos. Some people are great as friends. As soon as you move with them, to stay with them, you realize no, the friendship falls apart. I have an experience like that. Great friends, girlfriends, we moved into the same room and it didn't turn out well. So if you get a chance to live with somebody and study them and see if this is what you want to do, if this is what you're walking into, just take that chance. Don't let it pass. Yes. Any questions you have, leave the comments below. If you want to share your experience about distance relationship, leave it below. Has yours turned out well? Is yours working out? Do you think the red flags are too much and you want to let go? Analyze the situations and just know there's no perfect situation out there, no perfect woman, no perfect man, but the red flags should not be too much. Some of them just ghost you, they disappear on you, without giving you a warning sign. And if you see those signs coming, just run away. Sometimes you do everything perfect, but it doesn't end well. You tried your best. It's better to try and learn something from it than not try at all. So you gave it your best shot, it didn't work in your favor, so be it. Shake it off, cry on, shake it off, move on, try something else. And I wish you the best in your relationship. I wish you the best in your marriages. I wish you the best in your distance relationship. It's not easy. We see you, we feel you. I've been there before. It's really, really, really hard and very, very draining. But at the end, everybody will smile and be happy. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. My name is Priscilla Kumah. Until my next video, take care. And remember to enjoy life. Live life one day at a time. Live in the moment. Live to the fullest. Love, live, breathe. Bye-bye.